This is Steve Lambert. Steve is an American artist who specializes in a non-profit, unorthodox use of public space and focuses on the issues of advertising. By working on the projects that allow people to both kick back and open their eyes to society, Lambert has made a name for himself on national television, in major U.S. newspapers like the New York Times, and most effectively, on the internet. Some of Steve's projects include developing an online plugin that temporarily blocks distracting websites like Facebook and Twitter, creating an application for download that replaces advertisements online with artwork, and the more recognizable special issue of the New York Times that was released in major cities in 2008 that expressed hopeful but fictional positive news with headlines like Iraq War Ends and All Public Universities to be Free and National Health Act Passes. One of his most popular social experiments is one that brought Steve eye to eye with the general public, literally. Steve described what he planned to achieve as follows.
I have always tried to do little projects that I could accomplish quickly, and this was set up at the University of California at Davis, where I was a graduate student, and they had this, what they call a free speech area, where you could sign up and get a table, and a table for your organization. But what it meant was that people from the outside would come in for the most part and table for military recruiting, abortion rights, religion, things like that. And it just became a very awkward place to walk by because I didn't want to make eye contact with anyone or start a conversation because they would start to, basically they wanted to persuade you to sign something, to do something that I wasn't necessarily interested in. So I thought it would be great if someone was there that instead of wanting to talk about what they wanted to talk about, they wanted to talk about what you wanted to talk about. Because I didn't mind talking, I didn't want it to be, I would try it, so I did it. You can see in that sign, it's very quickly put together, but I did it a few times, and I thought I would go out for a half an hour, and every time I did it, it would take at least 2 hours, because I didn't want to cut anyone off and tell them I had to leave. It happened, and then I remember there was one guy who was talking about what reality meant, and he sounded a little bit crazy, but he was making sense, and it was one of those sort of borderline conversations where, really people didn't want to talk to me because they thought it was this trap kind of.
Right.
I was going to spring something, but really I was the one that was at risk of being trapped by someone.
So I decided to bring Steve's project to Philadelphia.
Sixers are above 500, and that's making me pretty happy. And I'm excited about this weather that's been coming to Philadelphia recently.
Didn't he get what was it, 1 million Twitter followers in 5 minutes? It's ridiculous. All I see is winning and Tiger Blood. I don't know what any of it means really.
I saw a public service announcement because this is going out to college students, and it's going to sound really cheesy, but I want to scare the shit out of every girl to do self-breast exams.
Horrible disaster in Japan, and the nuclear industry, in bed with all the lobbyists that control everything, play a big role in it. So I think we should stop nuclear power. I've never been in favor of it, and if this doesn't send a message why, they should never take a risk with it. There's no such thing as safe nuclear power. So my heart goes out to those people in Japan.
I don't know, I'm at a place in my life right now where I'm trying to figure out everything. I'm just literally just that one question. What is this all about? I know it's really corny, but if you just stop and think about it, it makes you really uncomfortable because you just go day by day, tunnel vision, doing your activities, whatever you have to do. You don't really just stop in your tracks. It just makes me question everything. Why am I? What are we supposed to be doing right now? What is my intentions? I just don't know.
We have to back freedom wherever people are fighting for freedom. And they're laying down their lives willingly. Nobody's forcing them to. Nobody's, saying to them, you need to get out there. They're standing out there on their own, and they're dying on their own, willingly. Like, where have we lost them?
Yeah, the rest of the world is soaring above us in every aspect: healthcare, education, environment, and what do we have? We have corporate fascism. We have the government in bed with big corporations who are screwing us left and right and blind. And your generation needs to wake up and scream and get out there and protest like we did in the 60s, because this country can't go on like this.
All the time, like college is like high school now. You got to do it, even if it's just for the experience. I said I don't care if you have no idea what you want to do when you go. Just go, just for the experience. You can go to California. I don't need you to come home every weekend. Just do whatever you want. Be happy.
We're supposed to be getting a wintry mix tomorrow. How do you feel about that?
Prepared. After this winter, I'm prepared for anything. I would like the sun to come out though, please, because Philly comes alive. It's really fun to see.
If you could rock the world with the flip of a switch, would you do it? If you could make everybody